Welcome to today's project. I recently found this little cabinet on Facebook Marketplace and thought it would make a great bar cabinet. It has an Asian theme with some faux distressing on it, glass doors, and a glass shelf inside, and there's some kind of light at the back of it as well. I think this is going to make a great redesign. Let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using Frenchic paints. Frenchic is a line from the UK. It's now available in Canada. It's a chalk and mineral paint that's environmentally friendly. There are no added VOCs, there's no odor. It's self-priming and self-leveling. It's really easy to use and gives you a great finish. Today I'll be using Frenchic's sugar soap to clean off the cabinet, painting with After Midnight in Fresco, painting the hardware in Frensheen Green Goddess, and sealing some parts of the cabinet with Frenchic's finishing coat. I'm going to start by mixing up my sugar soap. There's actually no sugar in sugar soap, but it gets its name from the powdered version that does look like sugar crystals. It's really common in the EU, and I guess the equivalent here would be a TSP cleaner. It's great for degreasing, floors, walls, anything you need to deep clean. Just give your item a good cleaning with this and then rinse it off. The first thing I'm going to do is give this cabinet a good vacuum to get rid of any dust and debris that's inside. Then I'll give it a good scrub with the sugar soap mixture and rinse it off. You want to make sure you clean off all the dirt and grime on your object, or the paint won't be sticking to the furniture, it will only be sticking to the dirt. Next, I'm going to be removing the doors, the hardware, and the back panel. I'm going to be covering the back panel, so I think it'll be a lot easier to work on it on a flat table. This is a really handy little thing to have when you're taking out a lot of screws. It's a magnetic little tray that I found at the dollar store, and it keeps everything in one place. I'm still not quite sure what all of these wires are for since there's only one bulb at the back, but maybe it'll make more sense when we're putting it back together. I'm going to be covering the back panel with some wrapping paper that I picked up. So I'm just going to measure it a bit larger than what I need. I'm spraying the back with some Gorilla Glue spray adhesive and then just making sure it's all smoothed out on the front. To protect the paper on the back panel, I'm going to be using Frenchic's finishing coat. It's just applied with a sponge. There are no fumes and it's safe to handle with bare hands. I'll trim off the excess paper and just put the panel aside until we're ready to put the cabinet back together. Well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So I started over, and this time I thought I'd use fabric. I went down and took a look at the fabric store and found something that's going to work out great. Now let's start painting. I'm going to start painting on the inside of the cabinet because it will probably need a few more coats than the outside. I've chosen the color After Midnight from Frenchic's Fresco range. Fresco is weatherproof and UV resistant, so you can use it on patio furniture and things that are going to be exposed to the weather. This paint is self-priming, so once you've cleaned your piece and given it a scuff sand, you're ready to start painting straight away. The first coat is going to look streaky, but that's okay. It's better to do a few thin coats than trying to cover everything at once. I taped the glass off on one side of the doors, but not on the other. I used a glass scraper to take the paint off on the side I didn't use tape on, and it did take a bit longer, so I think taping's the way to go. Now onto the hardware. I'm using a wire brush and some Barkeeper's Friend to give the hardware a really good scrub. I want to make sure all the grease and dirt is off of the hardware. Now I'm going to mix up the Frensheen that I'm using on the hardware. Frensheen is a mineral powder that you mix with a finishing coat. When you get the right consistency, you can just paint it onto your hardware. I just found these bottles on Amazon and think they're perfect for this. It's like a giant nail polish bottle. So I just put my Frensheen and finishing coat in and shook it up. So after 3 coats of paint, I can take the tape off now. Always the most satisfying part. So now this cabinet is ready to be put back together and set up for the final reveal. But before we do that, let's see if this project was worth it or not. So the cabinet I picked up on Marketplace for $70. They told me that the light wasn't working, so I thought that would be another cost, but it turns out it was fine. I used a small tin of Frenchic paint and other supplies that I already had, so the total is about $40. The wrapping paper and subsequent fabric that I ended up using totaled about $15. I spent about 5 hours working on this cabinet and will list it for $350. My total profit will be about $225. Hope you've enjoyed. Now let's see the reveal.